everybody, and welcome back to the final round of the 2024 FIM Motocross World Championship, the MXGP of Castilla, La Mancha here in Spain, about 3.5 hours south of Madrid. We're gearing up for a title showdown for the final time this weekend. So far, we've had 3 champions crowned. 125 European champion, presented by FMF Racing. 250 European champion. And just a moment ago, a new world champion in MX2. Now, though, for the Premier class, will it be Jorge Prado at home, which would be an absolute dream season for the Red Bull Gas rider? Or will it be Tim Geiser? Coming into this final race, they are separated by 12 points. Prado is the championship leader. Will or can anybody come between Prado and Geiser? The atmosphere is absolutely electric once again. Jason Thomas, Fly Racing. We have a stage that is set for perfection for Prado, but there's also the sort of possibility of an upset here this weekend as well. Which way are you going to call it, based on what you saw in race 1 or over the whole season?
Prado hasn't put a foot wrong all weekend yet, so until I see someone get him off his game, get a bad start, put him under pressure, I have no reason to think that anything will change. He's been undefeated in Spain thus far in 2024, so my money's on Prado. It's a motocross race. Anything can happen, but he has been absolutely lights out here this weekend so far.
If you are only just joining us because maybe you're watching on normal TV and you're just watching the second race of the afternoon, or because you've been doing other things, that's a look at the racetrack. We are at altitude here, almost 900 meters above sea level. The clay soil here, the atmosphere, though, absolutely electric, as we had on all previous visits to Spain earlier this year in Madrid and Galicia.
Not sure what's happening there.
I don't know, but they are clearly enjoying themselves. Here's what happened in the first MXGP race. Look at Prado's whole shot from mid-left as we look down, as he was followed in by he was followed in by Renault. Jeffrey Hurlings, though, watch him here. He gets bumped out of the circuit here, maybe, then goes chasing the dirt around the outside. That would catch him up later on because it would cost him a 3-place penalty in the race. Maxime Renault came into land. It was a freshly watered track, too much front brake or just a wet patch, whatever it was. Maxime Renault eventually came home in 9th place as Hurlings started battling through. He found his way past Albi Ferrato to move into 4th. That was about 4 or 5 laps in. Fevre didn't make the best start. He found his way past the 132 of Andrea Bonacorsi to move into 6th place. Hurlings then got the better of Siwa. These two were fighting over 3rd. Hurlings went through on lap 8, and it was that time of the race where we saw on our timing a 3-place penalty for gaining an advantage with that outside manoeuvre. Ferrato bounced off of Siwa as he moved up briefly into 4th, which was 3rd in real time, but then he fell with about 2 or 3 laps to go. He eventually came home in 5th after Hurlings was dished out that penalty. Jorge Prado was in cruise mode as he took his 17th race win, his 94th career race victory from Geiser, Siwa, Fevre, Ferrato and Hurlings. Impressive performance from the Spaniard. Whilst these guys dance to their own tune and clearly enjoy a little bit of party spirit.
No question who the crowd favorite is.
Lisa Leyland was down on the grid a few moments ago. She caught up with Maxime Renault, Monster Energy Yamaha Factory Racing. See what he has to say ahead of race 2.
So we have our MX2 World Champion crowned, but we still have our MXGP title to be decided. But first, let's catch up with a couple of guys, the first being Maxime Renault. Maxime, in that first race, unexpected fall from your seat. You were left playing catch-up. Firstly, are you okay? And also, what happened?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just landed from the triple, you know, and lost the front wheel directly as my wheel touched the ground, so couldn't do much about it. Yeah, not the race I was expecting, but yeah, it is what it is. The track is not the easiest to pass on. I had to adapt better, and I didn't, so yeah, definitely trying to head up for the second moto and do better.
Talking about adapting to the track in terms of tyre choice, is it an easy choice to make? Do you focus on the start? Do you focus on the rest of the track? What are you using?
Nah, definitely it's not an easy choice. For me, it's not even a question. I'm going with the hard pack tire, but I know some guys chose the sand tire, but the thing is that the track is so slippery and with so much rocks that, yeah, I don't feel comfortable with the sand tire on this kind of condition, so hard pack will be good.
Enjoy the final race of the year. Thank you. Good luck there to Maxime. It's time for our final MXGP race of the year.
Let's take a look at the top 5 then, shall we? Before we go anywhere, don't forget, Jorge Prado arrived here 7 points clear of Tim Geiser. He gained a couple more after the ramp qualifying race. Heading into race 2, the final race of the year, Jorge Prado 12 points clear of Tim Geiser. Jeffrey Hurlings 47 points further back, looking at a bronze medal realistically. And then Jeremy Seaver, Roman Fevre locked down in 5th, ahead of Koldenhoff, Lana and Horgmo. Horgmo not riding this weekend, by the way. Came here with a bit of fever. He was on antibiotics for a few days, still not recovered today, so he's going to save himself for the Nations a week from now. Jorge Prado, has he gone on the line yet? Here's how the riders line up. Jorge Prado on pole for the 6th time in 2024. Jeffrey Hurlings will go, not necessarily alongside him, but will go to the gate 2nd. But very interesting with Tim Geiser last time around, Jason Thomas, that Prado and Geiser joined him in the middle of the start line to sort of try and get that sweep through the first turn. Hurlings didn't get a good jump down the inside, got himself boxed in. Will he change tack this time around?
I don't think so. I think Hurlings goes inside no matter what. And I don't blame him. It's such a safe move. Even if you completely blow the jump off the gate, you can still tuck to the inside just like Kai de Wolf has done earlier today and come out okay. Prado is going out there because he has so much confidence in himself that he could start in downtown Kozar and probably get the whole shot. But that's what he's been doing his entire career.
The noise around this place is absolutely incredible. We are in a valley, aren't we, surrounded by olive trees and vineyards and all the rest of it. The fans have come out in their tens of thousands here to support one man, well, quite a few Spanish, but one man really in the greater scheme of things. They want to witness history here, a world champion being crowned for the 2nd time in the Premier class and for the 1st time on home soil. Prado eyeing up an inside gate this time around.
No,
pulling a fakie. He thought about it.
He did.
GG just getting moved out of the way there.
Jeffrey looks like he's going outside as well.
Interesting call.
Yep.
Will he be there as a protection? Go in alongside him.
See how deep it is here on the inside, on the right? I think that's what they're trying to avoid.
Where it's freshly been rotivated ahead, because obviously that's the race line, isn't it? So, yeah, a little deep over here, and not so. Look how light it is there as well. So, top left corner of your screen, that's a lot drier through there.
That's exactly where they're headed. They want that harder dirt. It's just going to let them accelerate more cleanly. Yeah. See Ferrato going to the inside, which has been the choice all weekend long, but them disking that inside up is just deeper, and that was the whole decision for all of them.
Just wondering if we can get a drone cam above the circuit, above the start straight, just to sort of see how light the track is. There's Sasha Kunin there, nothing wrong with that leg.
Yeah. Unfortunately, he didn't get to race the last few weekends. But yeah, you can just see it where the 5 and 15-second boards are, how deep it is there versus to the left, and that's exactly why they went out there.
To the left, as we look at the back of the race director there, the FIM race director is the line there. The top 2 in the championship, Jorge Prado and Tim Geiser, separated by 12 points heading into the final race of the season. Is there going to be a sting in the tail? Are we going to see a world champion crowned at home in the form of Jorge Prado, or has Tim Geiser got something up his sleeve? Of course, the first turn, the first lap or two, you never know how it's going to go. You never know how it pans out, but hopefully everybody gets away clean. We saw Geiser try to stay with Prado in the first race. Eventually, though, it was the Spaniard who did break free and go on to win that race to put more distance between himself and the HRC man.
Let's see how this plays out. Fevre's up the inside, Ferrado's up the inside, but all the championship contenders on the outside. So you can just see the mud there, even on the left side. It's a tough ask. See, everybody's gone to the more hard-packed traditional tire for this second moto.
Yeah, Maxime Renault pointing that out, just saying it's not enough dirt. The Fly Racing 15-second board up for the final time in 2024. Who will it be that grabs the final foxhole shot as well? Jorge Prado, just 17 for the season so far. Will it be him, just like he did in race 1? The Fly Racing 5-second board turns. Gates about to drop here. 30 minutes plus 2. Prado again. But Siwa, he came very close to him. Is that Ferrato down? It might be. And Geiser, I think, is off the side of the track here. Yes, he is. He might get penalised for that. I don't know, but he did, come in slowly from around the back, but looked like he had nowhere to go. I'm sure the FIM will look at that, but Prado, either way, is leading from the front, just as he did in race 1. He is all but home and dry. Yeah, there is 30 minutes plus 2 laps to go, but with what he did in race 1,
If it goes like this, penalty or not, it won't matter.
Exactly. Hurlings emerging in second position, so the middle gate's working for him. Febvre there in third. See, we're in fourth place. Then we've got Guillaume, Koldenhoff, Renault, Geiser in eighth.
Febvre made it work, though. Febvre was up the inside. And, yeah, so both extremes really worked, but it was so interesting to see all of the top guys go to the outside.
It was Ferrato that went down. I'm sure we're going to get another look at the replay of the start in a few moments' time, but Jorge Prado leads the way here. The fans absolutely on their feet.
Yeah, you're going to see Ferrato try to stop on the inside where everybody's sliding. And remember, they're going down a hill into that first corner. It makes the corner so much tighter for the guys on the inside, and Ferrato couldn't stop.
Well, in terms of the championship, you know, we did say there'd probably be a little bit more, a sting in the tail. What did he have up his sleeve? Well, we didn't expect Geiser to go off at turn 1 and re-emerge in turn 2.
Track is really slippery right now. They put some water down, so you can just kind of see them being a little bit hesitant.
Geiser finding his way past Valentin Guillaume from one Honda rider to the next. The unwritten code, if you like. Different teams, but don't get involved in the championship battle. So up into 5th place, Tim Geiser. Right, watch this. Geiser, middle of the gate, next to Hurlings. Gets squeezed by the bullet. Does he get pushed wide? Yes, just off the side of the track. Couldn't. Ideally, he should have gone left and then back around the first turn.
It's going to be hard to avoid a penalty there, I think.
I think so.
From what we've seen this weekend.
You know, Jeffrey Hurlings went around the outside at turn 1 and re-emerged at the bottom of the hill and got a 3-place penalty. At best, it's going to be a 3-place penalty potentially for Geiser, who knows, but there was an opportunity the FIM might look at it and say to go left, the other side of the Foxhole shot line to rejoin in turn 1, but when you're in the heat of the moment, you're fighting for the championship, the red mist is down, you're already annoyed that you've been, you know, forced off the track there, however, and Tim Geiser, well, I don't know, it's obviously a decision not to come by us.
Sure. The riders behind him went back to the left. That's the toughest part of all of it.
And that's probably what will be looked at as well. Well, exactly. If they could, you know what I mean? But, you know, Tim, a great guy, a great champion, and an absolutely fantastic human being as well. Cruel luck in China with that broken foot peg that's put him on the back foot coming in this weekend. To have a penalty potentially dished out here in the final race, 12 points down, that, you know.
The only silver lining will be if nothing changes here, Prado goes on to win the race. It really won't matter.
No.
Where it's going to get really dicey is if something happens to Prado, he crashes, then it's really close in points. Chaos will reign in that scenario. You will see a crowd come unglued here if something like that happens. But so far, so good for Jorge Prado. He's doing what he always does, get the start, manage the race from the front.
And it's tough to argue and compete with a rider like Prado when he's in that kind of form, isn't it? You know, another Foxhole shot, 18 for the year. And here, in front of the home fans, he is the showman. Just wants to put on a show for them. That's what they paid to see this weekend. So far, he's not disappointed.
And I'm interested to see how Jeffrey Hurlings approaches this race. We watched him yesterday in the Ram qualifying race, really be patient. He didn't want to add pressure. He certainly wasn't going to make a move. He showed that to us on the last lap. So I don't know what changes here in race 2. Does he want to go out winning the last race of the year? He's going to have to make some decisions. I don't know if that's already been preordained within the team or not, but certainly the internal struggle of I want to go win versus we need to make sure we bring home a championship.
Well, put it this way, we've got, as long as Jorge is ahead of Tim, he's going to be crowned world champion. So from that side, Jeffrey Hurlings, he's also fighting for a podium here because he's a point behind Febvre. Febvre's going to be on the box with 38 points. Hurlings, with that penalty in race 1 that pushed him down to 6, he's fighting for a podium here, 3rd overall. He's on 37. So that would change. He would move to 40, the same as Tim if he gets his way to the front. That bumps Tim down to 3rd as it stands at the moment. And Jeffrey Hurlings eyeing up, and you know, every step of the podium counts.
Yeah, you wonder if, I'm hypothesizing here, but stay behind him, wait, make sure everything's all good.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple laps to go, then go, right?
Then
championship set, you got it from here, I'm going to go for the win. I could absolutely see that happening.
Trying to keep straight faces down there in the Red Bull garage, as Jorge Prado manages a 1.5 second gap over Jeffrey Hurlings towards the end of lap 2. Romain Febvre down there in 3rd place, just behind him for Kawasaki Racing Team MXGP.
I promise you that Romain Febvre doesn't care about the championship at all. He wants to go win the race. So,
but look at the champions. we've got Prado, a 3-time champ heading for a 4th title at the moment. Hurling's a 5-time champ. Fevre, a world champion. Geiser, 5 titles, all in the first 4 places. That is a lot of experience.
Yeah, and Geiser's, you know, not too far back here, sitting in 4th.
Using that bank just in front of pit lane just to square up. That's a nice line there. Riders were doing that yesterday. Just not seen too many doing it today, though.
Yeah, he turned the fastest lap of the race, last lap around.
2 laps running. Homing in on Romain Fevre. Does Fevre just move aside, or does he put up a fight here? Romain Fevre also chasing the podium, so I'm assuming that he's just going to say, no, you want to pass me? You have to go around me.
Yeah.
Watch this here. Down the outside, past pit lane, just using the bank there. And that just changes the angle of the motorcycle, allows him to get tighter on the exit, and potentially set up a pass through turn 2 as well with another tight move.
And Fevre, I think he's going to know it's a 12-point gap, right? So in the big picture, nothing changes.
Yes.
Him letting him by, nothing like that. So he's going to race his own race. Now, if Prado crashes or something like that, who knows how it all plays out. But right now, you just race what's in front of you.
So Prado leads. Hurling's being a wingman for him at the moment on the Red Bull KTM. Geiser here for Team HRC. Trying to find his way past Romain Fevre. A tough nut to crack there, isn't he, as well, Romain Fevre? Doesn't mind these kind of conditions. Haven't seen it so far from him this weekend, but he's there in 3rd place. Siwa in 5th, Guillot 6th, Koldenhoff 7th, Fernandez 8th, Bonacorsi 9, Maxim Renault 10. Then we've got Landonic, Panzer, Lupino, Osland, Tom Cock, Josh Gilbert, Kevin Brumman, Ferrato, Monticelli and Mark Shue. No Guadagnini lining up. He was assisted medically in the first race down the bottom end of the circuit. Haven't heard as to the situation there. No Kevin Hormo lining up at all. Sick before the weekend, bit of a fever, on antibiotics, not strong enough to ride here in these hot conditions. So get well soon, both of you guys. Prado, 2 seconds clear now of the bullet. It's been inch perfect, hasn't it?
He has, yeah. And you never really know how close is he to the limit. You know, could he push harder? In this type of scenario, the one thing he doesn't want to do is take outsized risk. So I'm sure he's riding within himself, but he also doesn't want to fall into the clutches. He sees Geiser back there. He sees Fevre back there. He doesn't want to fall into that because something could happen and the points get crazy. He's very comfortable staying where he's at. But again, this track is really, really tricky. So he's got to be minding risk, and also, I mean, the fans going crazy, the championship. Like, imagine all of the thoughts in his head all at the same time.
That corner, I want to see a replay of that turn, that long right-hander, because everyone else coming through there pretty much sitting down, I think, or they have been. He was just up on the pegs, and just that's how relaxed he is. Yep. So nice.
Yeah, the motorcycle works so much better standing on it, letting the suspension do its thing versus compressing into it by sitting on it. So it's really a masterclass, what it's been for the last 2 years of watching this guy do his thing. He's an incredible rider to watch. He makes it look easy. He makes this thing, winning on these type of tracks, so incredibly difficult. He truly makes it look easy.
Yeah, barring any mistakes now. Jorge Prado, 21 minutes plus 2 laps away from being crowned world champion for a 4th time, back-to-back in MXGP. He was victorious with a round to go last year at the legendary, the iconic circuit of Maggiora in Italy. But here, the stage for him doesn't get any bigger. There could be 5 people here this weekend cheering for him. To win a world title at home would not be any sweeter than that. Fortunately, half of Spain have showed up today to witness Jorge Prado so far win a Ram qualifying race. To win race 1, and so far leading in race 2. And he doesn't look like he's in any distress, under any pressure. Just looking very, very relaxed. Lisa Leyland is down in pit lane with Davide Di Carli. And I'm sure they're all smiles at the moment, but trying to keep a straight face. Here's Davide Di Carli with Lisa.
Davide Di Carli, I spoke to Jorge before the races. He seemed too cool for school. He's looking immaculate. Really, how is he feeling? What feedback has he given you before today's races?
No, actually, I know Jorge is normally he holds the tension from the pressure. He's good with the pressure, so. But I know the pressure is there because we are fighting until the end of the last moto, so it's not easy. In the team, all good. We are relaxed. We don't want to give so much pressure to him, because I know it's not easy. But during this weekend, it's been good already. Yesterday, first moto, amazing start. Also now he make one really good start. At the moment he's leading, and hopefully he can stay like this without make any risk.
What would it mean to the team for him to get his second world title in MXGP?
Yeah, for me, he needs to keep riding like this without make any risk, and we will see in the end of the moto.
Okay. You don't want to speak too soon?
No, I don't like.
Best of luck to the team.
Smart answer that from Davide Carli. While we were watching that interview, though, Jeffrey Hurlings has started to play his cards, because he is homing in, or he was down the bottom end of the circuit. I just wonder if that's a little bit of gamesmanship as well. You know, kidology. Just yesterday, he knew he could sort of get the better of him if he needed to, but depending on who you listen to, was maybe informed to hold back for now. And obviously, in the second race here, yes, everything is looking good, but Jeffrey just getting close, and he looked like he was about to mount the challenge, but now has sat back again. So, interesting games this from Jeffrey Hurlings. Jorge Prado, though, not phased one iota.
I think he was also kind of sending a message like, hey, we have to go a little bit, because Febvre's coming and Geiser's coming behind him. We can't take it too easy here. So I do think Jeffrey will make a run for the win later in the race, but I think that was just a little warning sign like, hey, you can't slow the pace down too much here, because I'm getting pressure from behind me.
Romain Febvre on his 200th Grand Prix start this weekend, eyeing up a third overall this weekend in the final Grand Prix of the season. Can he make it happen? Because Hurlings is breathing down his neck, only a point between. So, again, you know, if there have been some unwritten rules laid out between these two, of course, you want to get Jeffrey Hurlings on the podium as well, don't you?
I think he's going for it here.
Take the win.
I really do. I don't think he's waiting anymore. It feels early, but you see him going in every other line but where Jorge is. If he wanted to stay behind him, he would. He doesn't look that way to me.
He'll be public enemy number one if he finds his way past Prado. Good luck getting out of here tonight.
That's nothing new for Jeffrey.
Although he has toned it down a bit since his MX2 days.
That's true.
Remember that, Mel Pocock? Portugal.
Arnautonis.
Yeah, a few.
Yeah.
This one starting to just juice up a little bit, isn't it? As Hurlings now just starting to wind it up a little bit. He senses Febvre starting to close in, so we do have a six-wheeler going on here. Geiser, though, the fastest man on track, fastest lap of the race, a 1:52.7 on lap 6. Geiser's going to need to do more, though, because that... Oh, whoa! The first mistake we've seen from Prado. He can't get back on the track. Geiser is back there as well in 4th position, and he lines up behind Prado. And Prado looks across and says, no, you know what? You go, I'll let you go. I've had my time at the front. I'm going to do just enough from now. That was a big mistake from him, and it was one that probably just spooked him to the seat of his pants.
Yeah, that was literally the no Moss moment right there. He was pushing, wanted to go for the win, but he just realized that was too close to the edge.
So I think it's been written out with 16 minutes to go. Jorge Prado. Just a bit of a heart-in-the-mouth moment there.
Not only did he let Hurlings, but he let them all, but like he wanted nothing to do with that. That's about as decisive as a you guys go ahead moment that you're ever going to see.
So lap 7. Jorge Prado relinquishing the lead. He just got spooked coming out of the turn. How much of that was upping the pace because Jeffrey was there upping the pace? Just a little misreaction from the back end of the bike, just sent him offline through the ruts in a place that he didn't want to be. Off the side of the track, he was right on the edge of the jump as well, wasn't he? And then couldn't do anything about it. Watch this here. He gets spooked just here. And then off the side of the track, goes off, goes to the inside of the water pipes, but wanted to get back on track before
Watch
the
his
signage.
rear wheel catch traction right there. Yeah, that's...
And they're already tramming at that space as well, you know, at that kind of speed. Look, he just wanted to get back on here. He trials rode his way down. Febvre came through. He looked back. He saw Geiser. Said, you know what? I'm prepared to sit here. I mean, it might take a couple of laps to settle down. Later on, he might try and push back again, but he's still going to win the overall Grand Prix, though, with a 1-4 by a point over Geiser. Hurlings and Febvre now will be tied Febvre will be losing out in this final Grand Prix as it stands right now.
I think there's also part of that is a personality aspect. For Prado, he's not a rider that takes chances. He does not push the limit at all. If that was Jeremy Seewer, no response. Jeremy Seewer keeps going like nothing ever happened. But for Prado, that is very, very out of character to make that big of a mistake. So that's why you're seeing such a decisive change in his race course. Is like, you know what? I don't need to take these type of risks. Not only am I going to win the World Championship, I'm also going to win the GP. So you guys have at it. This is also pivotal, that Jeffrey Hurling's penalty in the first race as well. That changes the podium as well.
But it has been a fascinating season, hasn't it? 2024, it was a season that kept on giving. To turn up, you know, for the second time in, what, 2 or 3 years? 2021 was the last time when you had Jeffrey Hurlings and Romain Febvre coming into the final round, the final 2 races of the year, 3 points apart. Hurlings got the better of Febvre in that first race. They went into the final race tied on points. To have a similar situation coming into this one, okay, 7 points was a slightly bigger gap. You get qualifying race points as well now on the Saturday, so it grew a little bit there. But you've still got a little bit of that unknown, haven't you? That unknown tension. We just saw that mistake from Prado a moment ago that all of a sudden releases Tim Geiser. Gives him a couple of points back. It's not going to be enough though, is it? We saw the gap 10 points with 13 minutes to go.
Yeah, that 2021 weekend, that was such a clutch performance from Hurlings. Mantova,
yeah,
just, I mean, he really dominated the entire weekend.
Of course, it was helped when Febvre flipped coming out of that turn, went off the back end of the motorcycle, but he still had to maintain his own composure, which is exactly what he did. Tim Geiser, he's there in 3rd place. Romain Febvre, all of a sudden looking interested because he's 1.5 seconds behind Hurlings. Just set the fastest lap of the race, 1:52.703.
Febvre would love to leave here with a win, make Auntie and the boys in green smile. Exiting Spain, it's been a rough season for Romain Febvre. A lot of people looking at him to get back into championship contention. A lot of frustration this year.
Prado was the fastest lap in race 1, a 1:51.471. So is there potential for that to be improved by Febvre in this race too? Otherwise, the Acerbi's fastest lap will go to Prado, who already has that competition locked down with 13 Acerbi's fastest laps so far. Will it be 14 for the Spaniard? And you can see he's already dropped 5 seconds off the pace, 9-10 seconds off of Hurlings. After that mistake, it was just a little warning sign.
Yeah, and he had a huge gap back to Seewer. He looked around and said, you know what, it's a really comfortable spot to be right here. He'll be able to, he's got an 8-second gap back to Seewer he'll be able to manage. And it's not exactly how he would have drawn up race 2, but he's mature enough to understand the situation, calculate the points. And that's also the cushion that he built up, winning the Ram qualifying race on Saturday, winning race 1 on Sunday. This is what he's allowed himself.
Yeah. Bonacorsi is going to be picking up 10th overall in the championship. A rider that started at round 5 in the championship after being bumped up from the MX2 factory team into MXGP because Brian Bogers, he's in 22nd place and he's not been circulated since lap 2. So Brian Bogers will not add any more points. He's going to finish the championship 11th. That's a story all by itself as well because he came in at, what, round 3 in Sardinia at the expense of another rider. He didn't have a ride in the winter, or he did, but it let him down. And he didn't come in with any training, no prep, no nothing. And went and got a job for a living. You know, working in construction, working in the plastering industry, you know. And so to come back as a factory rider and do what he's done, Brian Bogers, he'll be pleased with that 11th overall in the championship, as I'm sure Fantic are as well. But this weekend, not working out for him. Rough ride in race 1 as well to finish in 14th. No score in this race. Yeah, a bit twitchy there for Tim Geiser. Handlebars snatched out of his hands just at the wrong moment.
Really square edge bumps coming through some of these sections. The television really doesn't do it justice, but the bikes are jumping all over the place. And the bumps are so hard at the base that the suspension really doesn't want to soak them up.
Well, he was coming in on the back of 2 home Grand Prix, going 6 for 6, winning the Ram qualifying races on all of the who went down there. We just saw a yellow flag a moment ago. Was it Hurlings, Febvre, or it wasn't Geiser? Not close enough.
Maybe Geiser? Nope, there's Geiser there.
No, there's Geiser, so maybe it was a back marker, a lapper. He would have, of course, wanted to make the clean sweep. 9 race wins in Spain at his home rounds this year. But that one moment, just spooking him ever so slightly, realising, actually, you know what, there's more at stake here than a race win. But he has been, you know, when you look at the stats, he has been the standout performer this year, hasn't he? More race wins, more Grand Prix victories. Podiums have been up there as well. More laps led.
Yeah, and were it not for some of the wetter races of the season where he really struggled, it felt early on like he was going to absolutely run away with this championship. And then he had some really tough weekends there, gave a bunch of points back. But in the end, he's done it when it counts, and we can't discount the misfortune that Tim Geiser had in China. That is an absolute big part of this story, but that's motocross racing. Things like that are going to happen.
Jorge Prado at home. The final Grand Prix is on the verge of a 4th world title, back-to-back titles in MXGP, enjoying the last dance here on European soil in 2024. As are many other people in the paddock.
He's actually stayed pretty close to Geiser here. I'm surprised he has not dropped back further. You don't know how hard Geiser's pushing either. He was actually on the rear wheel of Febvre and Hurlings earlier, and he's dropped 8 seconds to them. So maybe he's just sensing championships kind of slipping away here. It's hard to focus and kind of bring your best stuff to the game because there's so many emotions right now for Geiser too.
I was going to say that Tim Geiser now realizing the opportunity of that 6th world title is slipping through his fingers. He hasn't got the pace to chase Febvre and Hurlings. He's 11 seconds, 12 seconds off the lead. And the risk versus reward, knowing that Prado is just behind him as well. He knows the gap, he knows the points, and he knows even if he makes 1 pass, it's not going to be enough. 2 passes is not going to be enough. Jeffrey Hurlings, though, leading the way. 2 seconds clear. And for Jeffrey Hurlings, what a season he's had. First of all, he's lined up at every single race of the season, the first time since 2012.
Yeah, which is, it's amazing that he's had such success with that stat, a part of it, World Championships with that stat involved. But you know, Jeffrey Hurlings is one of those riders where his star shines the brightest, but it also flames out early in some of these seasons just because of the incredible pace he's able to put out. But yeah, this is a big step in the return of Jeffrey Hurlings is making every race. 204
career race wins so far. Can he round out the season 205? Or will Romain Febvre keep chipping away and have a word? Who's chasing his 49th race victory on his 200th Grand Prix start.
And Jeffrey's done a great job of really improving his hard pack skills. You know, everyone knows how capable and how dominant he's been in the sand, but some of these races, harder pack, where there's really low traction, tracks that he wouldn't have grown up spending a lot of time on. I think his time going to British Championships and really expanding his horizon, I think it's showing up on days like today. He has an incredible track record in tracks like Turkey. Looking for, at this stage of his career, to still be developing is impressive.
Yeah, now that he's got up front, Jeffrey Hurlings doing what he does as well, controlling things from the front, looking pretty comfortable there, isn't he? And I would say doing just enough to stay ahead of Romain Febvre because, you know, everybody knows they've got a big race next weekend as well. Just round out, don't do anything stupid here at the final round. You know, things looking good. Why would you want to go spoil it with something stupid?
The track is so tricky, right? To push the edge on this track right now is not a really rewarding proposition. So yes, I would agree with you. If Febvre comes up and adds pressure, he would start pushing more, but he's only going to push as hard as he needs to.
So Tim Geiser here, Team HRC, third at the moment. Take a look at the start here then, I believe. Tim Geiser in the middle of the gate. He's squeezed there with Hurlings. Hurlings drops it across the front of him here. And Geiser, just there, he had to straighten up. He went off the side of the track, so probably carrying a little bit of speed there. That's where he re-emerged. Did lose positions on the way out, though, because he was there with Hurlings, wasn't he, at the time? So Geiser then, at the moment, nothing coming up. It's a fortunate to get away with that one, I think. But that would have been cruel as well. But I think just from the body language now, he's backed it off. His lap time last time around in the 54s. This one probably a little bit slower than that, I would imagine. Just the body language looks like he's in cruise mode. Yes, he's still pushing relatively hard just to maintain that race pace. But with less than 5 minutes plus 2 laps to go, he knows now, barring any mishaps from the rider behind him, Jorge Prado, just here, the championship is all but done and dusted. Too much to do with not enough time in the race, not enough rounds left in the championship. How we would love a 21 or a 22 round series just to try and claw back a few more points here. But Prado, up until that one little mistake earlier where he looked so in control, he was just getting pressured by Jeffrey Hurlings. But apart from that, you know, that swing of 21 points in China a round ago, 2 weeks ago. He turns up here with the championship leader's red plate. Watch this moment here. Gets on the gas. He's already hooked another gear. He's already on the pipe. Goes up the side of the track. He can't brake because there's so much loose rubble there. He looks back, sees Febvre go by. He looks back, sees Geiser there and says, I'm not going to challenge you.
Yeah. I think what really worried him, that mistake completely caught him off guard. He did not see that coming. Unfortunate there for Alessandro Lupino. But that, for a rider who's always in control, the way Prado is, when something catches them like that with a surprise, that's unnerving for him. That's why I think why you saw such a strong response. It's like, I'm done. You guys go ahead. If it's a rider that rides on the edge a lot, they're used to having that sketchy moment. It's not such a big deal, but that is not Prado's game at all. And he's actually got a little bit of company from Jeremy Seawer here as well. I don't think he'll necessarily care. The overall for the day is in question. That's one thing. So we'll see how he responds to that.
Yeah, because he's only got a point advantage over Geiser. So the top 3 in the championship are going to finish first, second, third on the overall classification. Prado, Geiser, Hurlings 43, 42, 40. Febvre with 40 points as well, just missing out. I'm sure everybody down there. And you know what, that pre-grid, I'm just thinking now, that pre-grid with Davide Di Carli. How would you feel? What would it mean if Prado wins a championship? What would it mean to you and the team? I don't know, he just needs to maintain his focus. Too early to think about all that. We don't think about that until it's time to think about it. About a lap after that is when he had his moment.
Yep.
And
insightful, for sure.
Insightful, absolutely. I don't think Seawer is going to up his pace to try and do anything about Prado. I don't think he's going to want to spoil the party. But urged on every inch of this racetrack, Jorge Prado. You know, the fans have come out, haven't they, in their tens of thousands. No one heading out of the gates at the moment. They want to stay to the very end. They want to witness history in the making. Geiser heading down the start straight in the opposite direction as Prado hits the final turn.
Interesting little psychological thing here for Prado and Geiser, right? They've been battling for this championship all year long. And you wonder which will this stick with longer? Will Geiser barely losing the championship stick with him longer? Or will the joy of winning the championship with Prado stick with him longer? I always find...
Febvre tips over.
Unfortunate. You see the shake of the head there. I think he had a big enough gap where he
14 seconds he had, so it's just a little tip over. He'll pick himself up in second position. Just watch this, in the right-hander, just chasing the front. Thought he was going road racing there with a knee out.
He's going for the race win there. He's pushing with a few laps to go there.
Yeah, he was closing in on Jeffrey, but just asking too much at the front end, or maybe trying to turn too tightly in that turn when the rut didn't allow. That's the corner here.
Yep. And you got to commend. I mean, he wants to go win, right? He hasn't had as much success as he would like this whole year. So to win the final race of the season would at least give him some hope when we get to Motocross of the Nations, start thinking about 2025.
Time ticking away. 2-lap board should be going out any moment for Hurlings because the timer has gone down to 0. Hurlings should be making his way to the line any moment now. We've had 14 laps complete. This is going to be the end of lap 15, so it's going to be a 17-lapper just like it was in race 1.
But you know, what I was thinking about with Geiser is seasons like this, I think he'll think about it all off season, right? Had I given Bonacorsi more room in China, what could I have done differently? It comes down to such small margins, and so many things happen throughout the course of this long of a season. It's, I think it's kind of understated. The agony of losing a championship when it's really close is a really hard thing for a lot of riders to get past.
Jeffrey Hurling's not getting any younger, 30 years old now. How many more years has he got at the top, potentially?
I don't know, 30.
Okay.
Every time I think, he suffers an injury, something goes wrong, I'm like, well, it's probably downhill from here. He comes back. The guy refuses to let things get him down. And he races nearly every weekend somewhere around the world. He's in all these domestic championships. The guy truly loves racing his motorcycle.
2 to go for Jorge Prado. The stars have aligned for Mr. Perfect. Final Grand Prix, when it was announced as being somewhere in Spain, you just knew, you sensed, if he's in with a shout, if he can't get up for that race, then, he almost doesn't deserve to be world champion, but no problems at the first 2 Spanish rounds in Madrid and, of course, in Galicia at Lugo, his hometown. But coming here with the championship leader's red plate, he only had one thing on his mind: win the World Championship. If you win the Grand Prix as well, another cherry on the cake. That's exactly what we're going to get here. The podium will be off the scale. The Prado chant will be full voice.
Well deserved.
And very well deserved. 17 race wins for the season for Jorge Prado, who's getting closer to that 4th world title. It'll be his 11th Grand Prix victory of his career, of the season. It'll be his 49th. He'll fall 1 short of that 50 of Joël Robert.
You talk about everybody knew when that Spain event was announced. I think everybody that had to race against Prado in the championship that fancied themselves winning this all groaned collectively, because they know what Jorge Prado in Spain means, and it means performances like this. Not necessarily race 2, but he has been such a dominant performer on home soil. He really leaves no air for anyone else.
About a minute and a half stand in the way between Jorge Prado and the checkered flag. A 2nd world title in MXGP. How sweet will this one feel when he crosses the line on Spanish soil? The red clay dirt here in Cozart. He's been in this position 3 times before, but never in a situation where the prospect of winning at home was ever a possibility or a reality. Joel Smet's a 5-time world champ, keeping an eye on things in the background there. But this is a celebration lap. It's a parade lap now for Jorge Prado. He's really starting to enjoy himself. He doesn't feel the pressure from Siwa. And he is now about a half a lap away from his own little piece of history. Once more, rewriting the record book, according to Jorge Prado.
Tough for him here. He wants to explode emotionally, right? He's got to execute a few more corners. Sewer's right behind him, but
Jeffrey Hurling's out of the final turn. He will win his 205th race with victory in race 2 here in Spain. Roman Febvre will cross the line in 2nd position. Tim Geiser will be 3rd. But Jorge Prado getting ready to cross the line. One more turn for Prado. The Red Bull Gas Factory rider wins his 4th world title. He wins in Spain. The place erupts. And Jorge Prado has delivered this weekend on home soil. 4 world titles, back-to-back in MX2. Ruben Fernandez, one of the first to congratulate him, but let the party begin. An absolute pandemonium scene again down here. And Jorge Prado, crowned world champion once again. My thanks to Jason Thomas, who has to get off and get a flight. But Jorge Prado, somewhere down there, celebrating. Not even sure if we're going to have to drop Lisa in for a helicopter, I think, down on a cable. But for those who've got flights to catch this evening, good luck, because you're not getting out of here anytime soon, or if you go now, you will do. But Prado celebrating with the fans, the Spanish fans. What a moment, what a victory, what a year for Jorge Prado. Not sure if Lisa is in there or not, but you can just see the absolute pandemonium down there. They're going to need to start separating people down there, because we're going to need to get in there, get a word with him and settle things down. He is in there somewhere, but what a moment for Jorge Prado. I think they just about managed to get the bike out of there, look, for the podium. But Jorge Prado, hopefully we can get a camera down there. He wins the Grand Prix here as well. That is the cherry on the cake. His 11th Grand Prix victory of the season. And his 16th podium of the year. We may have just got everything under control down there. This party and this podium will be one to go off. One last dance for Jorge Prado. He has danced to his own tune all season long. Tell you what, that's going to hurt in the morning, isn't it? Not sure who's going to get the bill for that camera lens. But Jorge Prado, still in amongst the crowd. Hopefully not. A mass exodus of the fans as they make their way to the podium from all parts of the racetrack. Look at that, not a car leaving in the background. They all want to be part of this special occasion, this historic occasion. And they're still celebrating in front of the podium here with the team. Lisa Leyland has finally managed to catch up with our new world champion. Probably won't hear anything. But the celebration just going off to our right here with Jorge Prado. The fans kept back behind the fencing here. And here he is.
I've got you, I've got you.
Who's got you, Lisa?
I don't know what's going on here, but I've got him. I've got our MXGP world champion, Jorge Prado. You got the title on home soil. This is what dreams are made of.
I don't even know what it was, but it was a great year. I deserve this title, winning so much, and a lot of effort from everyone. So that's the fourth one. Let's go!
Enjoy!
Jorge Prado, victorious.
Oh my God.
Jorge Prado, your 2024 FIM Motocross World Champion in the Premier Class MXGP. He dominated the first 4 rounds, 4 Grand Prix victories back to back. He comes away with 17 race wins, 11 Grand Prix victories, 16 podiums. Jorge Prado not only wins the final round of the season, he wins at home in Spain to be crowned world champion in MXGP for the 2nd time. He's now a 4-time world champion. Back to the chaos. Give you the results of that second race, shall we? Jeffrey Hurlings wins from Roman Febvre, Tim Geiser, Jorge Prado and Jeremy Seewer, with Valentin Guillot, Glenn Koldenoff and Ruben Fernandez rounding out your top 8. Ninth place for Maxime Renault, and in 10th place, Jan Panzer. Then we had Brent Van Donning, Albi Ferrato, Tom Cock, Andrea Bonacorsi, Alvin Oslin, and Ivo Monticelli. Bremen, Gilbert, Shu, and Skofgard bring up the rear. They're starting the chants down there, aren't they? Someone's trying to start them. Jorge Prado wins the final round of the campaign, his 11th Grand Prix victory of the season. He has dominated, on paper, this championship. He's dominated the world. Geiser second overall, Hurlings third. And it's symbolic that the top 3 overall on the day are the top 3 in the championship for 2024. Febvre 4th, Seewer rounding out the season with a 5th overall this weekend. The championship standings look like this. Jorge Prado, the number 1, the defending champion, turns red to gold here at the final round. He outlasts Tim Geiser. Prado now a 4-time world champion. Geiser and Hurlings, your top 3. And then Seewer, Febvre, Koldenoff, Verlandren, Horgmo and Guillot, with Bonacorsi confirmed as 10th place ahead of Bogus, Guadagnini, Panzer, Jonas, Tonedale and Pacharel, and the rest. Manufacturers' Championship, though, belongs to Honda. For the 3rd time since 2016, Honda win. Gas second, KTM third. Ducati there with the 2 rounds that they did, picking up 19 points. The Vauxhall shot right at the start of the race. It was Jorge Prado. Once again, there was so much going on down there. So 18 Vauxhall shots for Jorge Prado. 148 since his time in MX2 and MXGP. He did a couple of wild cards in 2016, picked up 3 then, and then from 2017 to 2024, he has not lost that competition. Jorge Prado, phenomenal starting prowess. Prado with the fastest at the Acerbis best lap as well in race 1. A 1:51.471. He wins that little competition as well. Now has 14 Acerbis fastest laps for the season. This is more reminiscent of a Motocross of Nations podium. Look at the crowd down there for Jorge Prado. But then, having said that, it was the same in Madrid. It was just as crazy and chaotic in Lugo. But this one, the biggest of all, because this one for the World Championship. Moments away then from the podium here this weekend. Jeffrey Hurlings, 3rd overall, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. A 6-1 for the Bullet, who mounts the podium for a 152nd time. Tim Geiser, 2nd overall this weekend in Spain for Team HRC. And the one they've all been waiting for, your overall winner here this weekend, Jorge Prado. has to be his most memorable podium of his career. Great sportsmanship from Jeffrey Hurlings and Tim Geiser. And Davide De Carli. Team manager handing the number 1 plate to Jorge Prado, pointing the finger saying, you've earned it, you've deserved it. Enjoy it. The boss man down there, Claudio De Carli. Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. Yeah, go on, why not join him on the podium? A special celebration here in Spain. What an occasion, what a sporting moment we have just witnessed. Jeffrey Hurlings, 3rd overall this weekend, Red Bull KTM Factory Racing. Another one for the trophy cabinet. He'll be focusing on 2025. Davide De Carli, head in his hands. He can't believe what's just happened. 2nd overall, Tim Geiser, Team HRC. But for the 49th time, Jorge Prado lifts a winner's trophy. This one sweeter than any other one, I'm sure. His 95th podium. Davide De Carli getting ready to accept the team's trophy this weekend. And that one will have a special place in the workshop as well. Whether it's in Belgium or whether it's in Rome. Great effort from all of the team. Of course, they will pick up winning team as well this year. Mr. Antonio Alia Portela delivered a red plate to Jorge Prado 2 weekends ago in China. Today, he delivers the gold plate to the 2024 MXGP World Champion, Jorge Prado. Have a drink, you've earned it. Little sis down there in tears. Prado, tears of joy from Cecilia. We haven't even got to the World Championship celebrations yet. This is just for the podium. Prado wins the MXGP of Castilla-La Mancha here in Spain, the final round of 2024, flanked by his 2 biggest rivals, Tim Geiser, Team HRC, 2nd overall, and Jeffrey Hurlings, Red Bull KTM, 3rd overall. They also finish in the same positions in the 2024 MXGP World Championship. We'll do the final medal ceremony in just a few moments' time. But what a year we have had, taking it right the way down to the wire. The racing has been nothing short but spectacular. There's going to be plenty more of that as the night goes on. Does need to get that bike back to the UK, though, in a week's time for the 77th edition of the Monster Energy FIM Motocross of the Nations, where he will be representing Team Spain. How much sweeter will it be going there as a 4-time champ? A few pleasantries exchanged there between Herlings and Prado. 2 great champions, 3 great champions on the podium. 14 titles up there between all 3 of them. Mr. Portella handing another bronze medal to Jeffrey Herlings. Red Bull, KTM Factory Racing. A silver medal for Tim Geiser, Team HRC. A gold for the 2nd time in MXGP, a 4th gold medal for Jorge Prado, as he clinches the title right here on Spanish soil. And Mr. David Luongo, in front motor racing CEO, delivers the MXGP trophy. Jorge Prado, your 2024 MXGP World Champion. I thought there were going to be 4 hoists in the air there for every single one of his world titles. Spectacular scenes here at Castilla, La Mancha, Cosa.
Acompañado de otros 2 grandes campeones del mundo, 5 títulos Tim Geiser, 5 títulos Jeffrey Herlings, 4 títulos.
Right, next stop, trying to get to the media centre for their press conference. Following interviews as well with the top 3. Before we go anywhere, though, let's check out the highlights of that 2nd race, the final race of 2024. The gates dropped. Jorge Prado, who else with a foxhole shot? Tim Geiser went off the side of the track, though, and re-emerged just here. Lost a position or 2. But it was Prado who led the way. Geiser was buried somewhere else, just to the outside. Herlings up in 2nd. Fevre was 4th behind his teammate Siwa. Those 2 quickly changed positions. But then this moment towards the end of the race, as Herlings was closing in, forced Prado just to back off a little bit. Fevre and Geiser both went through. Prado emerged in 4th place at the top of the next hill. Didn't want to get involved. 4th place was still going to be good enough to win the overall Grand Prix. Geiser, he was circulating in 3rd place. Fevre just ahead of him in 2nd. Despite a little tip over, Fevre maintained that 2nd place, which was not going to be good enough for a podium. Herlings crossed the line to win his 205th career race victory. Jorge Prado crossed the line in 4th to win the Grand Prix and to win the MXGP World Championship 2024. A huge sigh of relief as he crossed the line as well. And then when it all went a bit Pete Tong, a little bit crazy down there with the celebrations. Well, we've lost Prado. Anyone seen Prado? There he is. Getting ready to grab a word with Lisa. Maybe we should start in reverse order, as we did in China. Starting with Jeffrey Herlings, 3rd overall, Tim Geiser 2nd overall, and then Jorge Prado. Just to get things moving along a bit. Anyway, here's Lisa.
Jorge Prado, massive congratulations, clinching the title on home soil with an overall victory. It doesn't get much better than that, and that podium, surely this is the most memorable.
Yeah, this is just unbelievable. Like, at the beginning of the season, I wouldn't imagine to be sitting in this position right now, and I was just enjoying it so much. That second moto was so long, it just didn't end. And, you know, so much work goes behind this, and all the fans came over. They were supporting every single lap of every race, and this is amazing to see. It's amazing to feel, and that atmosphere over there when I was on the podium is just unbelievable. So grateful to get a MXGP title over here in Spain with my fans, with my family, my friends, with everyone. And just thank you, everyone, and it's been an awesome year again.
Enjoy the moment. Thanks, Jorge. Second overall in the championship, we have Tim Geiser. Tim, mixed emotions. I guess China was the turning point. You did take the fight down to the very last race, but Jorge on home soil, it was a difficult one.
Yeah, I mean, like overall, it's been a good season, you know. Just a couple of mistakes, you know, some bad luck. I mean, in China, you know, where I lost a lot, but I mean, we had a great season, you know. Nice battle with Jorge, with Jeffrey. So congrats to Jorge for winning the title. Was really close this year. I was giving my best, and I think we had a really good championship. So I want to say a huge thank you to all my team. The bike was amazing all year, and everybody around me. So huge thank you. Thank you very much, guys.
Thanks, Tim. Third overall in the championship with that bronze medal, we have Jeffrey Hurlings. Jeffrey, 4 overalls, 15 podiums this year. Not an easy year, but I guess a consistent year.
Yeah, so that was my time to shine, and I want to say something. So first of all, over the weekend, yeah, you know, to finish 3 in the championship, I'm quite happy with. Obviously, my start has been my weak point all year, so to still come out today with a podium, it's okay. Obviously, I had quite some bad luck, but what the FAM did today to me, I think is not acceptable. Yes, I got pushed out of the track, but then to duck me 3 places and take away my overall like this, and they said, we want you to pay €650, but we will not change the result. So, yeah, that's basically what they said. So that's really something that doesn't make me happy. But I don't want to take anything away from Jorge. He was the best for the whole year. Stars is one thing, he was the king of that, and furthermore, he's a champion. So big congrats to that. But I think today the result is, I don't know, but looking forward to next year.
Thanks, Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Hurlings, 3rd overall this weekend and 3rd overall in the 2024 MXGP World Championship. The Red Bull KTM rider will now focus his sights on the Monster Energy Motocross of Nations in a week's time at Matchley Basin, as we all will, of course. But already looking towards 2025 is the bullet. So too, Tim Geiser, the 2 5-time world champions, will go head-to-head once more. Can they make it 6 when we get to this time next year? Team HRC's Tim Geiser, an okay year for him. Of course, he would have loved to have been world champion. Who wouldn't? But Tim Geiser had to play second best this season to Jorge Prado. Back-to-back titles for the Spaniard, the Red Bull Gas rider, winning his final Grand Prix in Spain on home soil, and with it, the MXGP World Championship title. Congratulations, Jorge Prado and Red Bull Gas Factory Racing. And we are massively over time. Apologies. But we will be back. The calendar is done and dusted, apart from one race at the bottom of the page there. The Monster Energy FIM Motocross of Nations at Matchley Basin. We will be there in a week from now for the final race of the year. Hope to see you there, whether it's on MXGP-TV or in person. My name's Paul Malin. Thanks for watching MXGP 2024. It's been a fantastic one from me, from the team. Goodbye. We'll see you next week at the biggest race of all. See you then. Bye for now.